football.
Hello.
The Dallas Cowboys will look to get back on track in Stephen A's favor with a new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, and their quarterback, Dak Prescott, healthy and under center. It's been quite some time since Dallas has gone to the big game, but Schottenheimer isn't concerned. Take a listen.
I don't get caught up in the drought. This is 1 year. I mean, this is the first year of mine. I mean, I've been here a couple years. But, you know, when the season's over, we move on. Are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? I hope. I think we are. If we don't, you move on.
Can this team's past ever be burdensome with the Super Bowls and the expectations and all that? Do you ever think that weighs on guys?
I don't think so. Not when the head coach sits up here and talks about the ultimate goal is to win a world championship. You know, I think it's to be celebrated. We want to win a Super Bowl, and we don't have for that.
Stephen A., how do you feel about these comments?
I'm depressed. I'm very upset about it. Because that man makes more sense than any recent Dallas Cowboy coach I know. I mean, I sat there listening to Brian Schottenheimer. I'm like, that's a smart thing to say. I agree with him. There's nothing phony about it. There's nothing off-putting about it. There's nothing stupid or eccentric about what he had to say or whatever. Simple and plain. We want to win a Super Bowl. We don't hire from that. But damn it, it's been 29 years. I hope we win a Super Bowl. But if we don't, we're going to go back to the drawing board and come back and try it again. Well, damn. What am I going to say about that? He's giving me no ammunition. No ammunition. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody else. I mean, Dak Prescott, be very clear, America. Put Kimberly up on there. I want to see her. I ain't seeing that months. Come on now. Keep on the screen. Dak Prescott is the most useless quote in all of sports. Doggy, you can go back 4 years for 4 years ago, Doggy. Kimberly knows this because I've said it many times. It don't matter whether it's 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It doesn't matter. You can re-air the same quote. Week 1, Dak Prescott after a win. This is what he gonna say. Week 1 after a loss, Dak Prescott. This is what he gonna say. Week 2, week 3, week 5, week 10, week 15. It doesn't matter. All you gotta do is go to the week, and if he's won a game, use that quote. If he's lost a game, use that quote.
Stephen
You
A.,
don't
he's a
even need
quarterback.
AI. You don't need AI. It's the most useless quote. I mean, it's just senseless to talk to him. He has nothing to say, nothing. Okay, but he's a Dallas Cowboy, so he's gonna get endorsement deals. He only wants 2 playoff games in 10 years, but he's gonna be all right. So Brian Schottenheimer knows all of this and knows some of the asinine stuff that has come out of Jerry Jones' mouth, my buddy, who I root for. I wish nothing to Jerry but the best. I love that man. But the bottom line is that he says some crazy stuff sometimes, at least this past year, okay? And you hire Brian Schottenheimer, nobody wanted, okay? Nobody was thinking about, and you pluck him out of obscurity even though he was right there in your squad. And this man says the most sensible stuff. I said, oh, damn. I might not have the ammunition I'm looking for this upcoming season. And that's what has me.
Okay, but it wasn't just that Shotty said, we win a Super Bowl, cool. He said, we talk about it behind closed doors. I might be a rookie head coach, but I'm not new to this. My dad, I grew up in the league. I was with Shotty in New York. He predated Rex. He understands the tough questions. He understands the New York market. Shotty looked very comfortable saying, ask what you want. But we set the standard here. Everything he has said this offseason about building the culture. You can criticize the coaching process, but so far, Shotty has said everything that you'd want a head coach to say. Now, obviously, what happens on the field matters, but so far, that's how you want a head coach to handle himself.
100%. Steve's got Schottenheimer out to be Lincoln at Gettysburg. Right now.
No, I was impressed with him.
Take it easy.
I think Stephen A. is right.
Take it easy.
Oh, my God.
Listen. I'm in this business. I'm in this business to show you how sincere I am about my Dak Prescott comments. I'm in this business. I have never once pursued an interview with Dak Prescott.
I gotta pause you on that.
Doesn't say anything.
Can I just push back on one thing? I understand what you're saying, but he's a quarterback. What quarterbacks give us bulletin board material? It's like coaches speak. There's quarterbacks speak. That's exactly what they're supposed to do, downplay everything.
And in fairness to Dak, he has been better this year.
Molly, if we were doing a scene in Law and Order, which I would know something about, by the way, if we were doing a scene in Law and Order, do you understand that we would throw objections all over the room, Molly leading the witness? You see how she asks a question and then answers it for you before she comes to you? Like, oh my Lord. Molly, here's the deal. here's the deal, Molly. Dak Prescott, I understand what your point is. If he was consistent winning. The fact of the matter is that because he doesn't win, could you figure out some new maneuver so maybe it'll bring you some good luck? How about that?
Can I ask one more question before we hit the top of the hour? Stephen A., give me a couple names of current quarterbacks in the league that give us real amazing sound bites that we use on this program.
Well, I didn't say amazing sound bites. See, now you're embellishing. That's not true. Whether it's even a Jalen Hurts, a Baker Mayfield. Listen, even with Tom Brady, it was what he didn't say. And what you saw how he would act on the sidelines. Dak Prescott is always polished. He's always aware of the cameras. Let me not act up. Let me not show my frustration. Let me not react to CeeDee Lamb's frustration. Let me not react to this, to that. All of these things, y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth.
But you couldn't help yourself. Dak is at home.
I know that's true.
Just had a second baby girl. Congrats to Dak.
Congrats, Dak.
And yet we're talking about Brian Schottenheimer. You couldn't help yourself.
Kimberly, I had no idea. See, that's wrong. I had no idea that Dak Prescott was a new father. I had no idea.
Number 2, yes.
I did not know. All right, so see how you go just like I knew, but I did that too. Dak Prescott, congratulations. God bless you and your wonderful family. I didn't know that. Come on.
All right, I hate to rush the conversation.
This is why you needed me here.
I needed you.
Who, aside from his last name, is not the best-known head coach in the NFL, but you know him well, having covered him.
Look at Shotty sitting there like, I know I'm a rookie head coach. I'm not new to this. You know who my father is. Also, we covered Shotty when he was with Rex, and he predated Rex. He knows how quickly the tide can turn as far as the direction of a franchise. What you want is a guy sitting there, new head coach, saying, we don't shy away from expectations. We know exactly what it is because he's telling you, I'm telling them behind closed doors, you don't even have to ask me about it. You don't have to ask them about it because we talk about it. And Jerry Jones, his presence looms large in that building. His voice, obviously, we hear it once a week, probably twice on Sundays and then Tuesdays and all that. He's made it clear. I need to get a Super Bowl again. And I think Shotty, we don't know much about him as a head coach, the rest of the world, but I think we got a glimpse into why maybe the Cowboys felt like, yeah, he is the right guy for this.
What do you think, Lewis?
Look, I don't think he's out of place, or it's like, it's some kind of, that he misspoke when he said that, having Super Bowl expectations is something that he's talked to his football team about, and obviously everybody down there is aware of. They have a history. We know it's a distant history. We know it's been a long time since they really have been in the Super Bowl talk. But look, contrary to what everyone, might believe, I think every football team goes into the offseason thinking as though with a few moves we can be in contention. Because that's the way the league is set up. It's intended to be that way. Now, you may think that some owners and some general managers aren't necessarily making the moves that put you in those positions, but it's out there for you to have. Dallas, I'll tell you what, they catch the right breaks. This offensive line comes along the way it's supposed to. This wide receiver core is able to stay intact and stay moving in the same direction. This defense is able to play better in November and December instead of getting bludgeoned like they have in the past against physical football teams. They can be right there, just like many, many other teams can be. So I don't think, look, him talking about Super Bowl,